Hello guys, welcome back to another video here. This is, well, actually not another video, this is the first video of me actually speaking on this channel. It's Max, but yeah, today we are testing 0.5 multiplayer. So yeah, pretty cool. So, let's actually build something because, you know, pretty cool. Yeah, it's a little buggy, you can see. Plus, sometimes players will move really fast and almost out of sync. But this is pretty much the newest version of PocketMine that supports 0.5, because I'm using PocketMine server software for this because this is one of the oldest ones that exist. But yeah, pretty interesting, actually. It's got a lot of features and... oh, not a lot right now. In fact, the only world setting I could get this working under due to some issues with Superflat. This person's making, I can see, making a... well, can't really see the name tags, but making a huge nether core reactor, which is pretty cool. I'm gonna build something. How about I build a library? Yeah, if my voice sounds a little weird, I went to the dentist. My entire upper lip is numb. But yeah, I guess you can make a library. And what should you make a library out of? I don't know. So yeah, pretty much, building out a library is going to be a little interesting. So, I'm going to try to go for a brick design and see how that goes. Because that would be kind of an interesting thing to see. I don't know. Just because I like the way sometimes bricks look, and I think it could look really good with this dark spruce wood. Which is interesting, you had an early Pocket Edition, the oak trees used kind of a spruce log style, which was... well, not style, used spruce logs as the thing, even though oak wood was technically in the game's code. So yeah, basically what we have is relatively, well, functioning world. So, yeah, pretty much. So this is I did test survival mode with this earlier, and it is really, really buggy. In fact, so buggy, in fact, that creative mode is actually a lot more playable. Yeah, it's a pretty interesting scenario. I'll probably make a survival single-player series, most likely, and it'll probably be under 0.74 as its version. I don't know, that's just the most nostalgic version for me. Probably because it was when I actually started to learn and understand how the game was starting to work, and I could play it the best and had the most fun and got to experiment with things more, which was pretty cool. This is kind of tiny for a library. Might want to make it larger. Probably not the greatest builder on Earth, but yeah, pretty interesting. This is a little cool little world. Testing out the functionalities and intricacies of early multiplayer, because this is way before the whole thing where you enter an IP in the field. You have to do like stuff, you know, like patching the client to change the default IP address that shows. Just, yeah, it's a little more trickier to set up, more steps, but it does work. It's just in this time wasn't the most practical to set up, but it was really heavily a work in progress. But it just, however, the introduction of entering an IP address did simplify things quite a lot. But still, no proper server software was released for quite some time. But that also gave PocketMine an opportunity to thrive. And anyways, current Bedrock Edition software, that is the official stuff, doesn't actually support plugins, so PocketMine is still superior in that way. Because the default normal server software is good if you are just, you know, wanting to host a basic server. But then if you want something like with all plugins and stuff, it gets a little less practical, and because of the lack of, well, things you can do with the game. But overall, I'd say multiplayer has changed quite a lot in Pocket Edition, and it gives a great perspective. Only if I knew this existed when I played then. But anyways, yeah. Well, I didn't. I was like, probably at that time, probably 10. So, yeah. So I'm gonna make the roof out of... What should I make the roof out of? I think I'm going to make the roof out of... I'm gonna make the roof out of... I really don't know, actually. I'm going to... You know what? It's gonna be oak. But yeah, other than that, that was some basic style MP. It's relatively, it's much more stabler than the 0.4 video I uploaded yesterday. Sorry there's no mic in there, I just was in a pinch. But yeah. Pretty much. Pretty interesting. This is a lot more stable. Well, surely a lot more stable. Because, well, yeah. I could use glowstone, I forgot, because this was the version that added another core reactor. Which I'm genuinely curious would work, and I might test that out at some point. To see if another core reactor works. Like, I might build it, and then test it. Just to see what happens. Just out of curiosity. See if it works. I don't think it will, because in later versions of PocketMine, like in the 0.74 version, which I've already done server stuff with, so another core reactor will appear on everyone's screen, but then when the person who started it leaves the server, the entire structure disappears, and yeah, still it's kind of a little bit broken there. But yeah. So I would think that either another core reactor wouldn't work on here at all, or it would do the same thing. But yeah, pretty much, yes. So as you can see, this is starting to turn into something, so let's continue it. One cool thing is that there's proper world saving in this version, unlike 0.4, where there was a issue with the world saving. Just wouldn't work. Apparently it was an issue with every version prior to that had a world saving problem. Or just the world wouldn't save, and then other people's blocks wouldn't show. 0.5 fixed both of those issues. I just realized I sealed myself. Well, I'll fix that. Yeah, I'm not a really great builder, like I said, but yeah. I'm also literally have, you know, council access, so I could literally add more building, give myself more building blocks that aren't necessarily on the creative menu, because that's kind of limiting. I might give myself some stuff later, add some more to these buildings. I'll probably like save this map and then post it even in the video description, who knows. Because literally, in this version, you can go and literally hit quit and copy map and save the, well, world that way. trying to think about how I'm going to build the roof on this thing. Difficult idea. I guess I can make it out of cobble. I think the gray will look nice. This is how I always make roofs, though. So I always make roofs in almost this style. Now I've got stairs in this version. Well, I did have stairs in the previous, but none of it would have saved. So yeah, basically, if I didn't have stairs in the previous version, yeah. Well, I did, but there was no point really building big structures in that version because the server wouldn't save it. But in this version, there is the ability to build big structures, and that is relatively really cool. There's also the ability I would love to try to do is port some Java Edition maps to this. Maybe even adventure maps and see what happens and stuff, or even maybe a parkour map. Just to test out a lot of things and see if that really works, because in general, well, not in general, but this is relatively functional, this version. There's proper saving and world gen, which is pretty important, I'd say, to making a functional survival world. Because, well, not survival world, because this is probably more compatible with creative. At this point, simply because of how the default world gen has been changed to a super flat, so I guess they were saying that, it's a way of saying that survival mode isn't 100% ready yet. I guess that was how they were going to say that. I think this is going to look nice. Because I always think of, like, library having almost a brick wall and having a brick look to it in a way. I don't know, maybe it's just from, you know, like an idea of what a lot of people think as a library is, or it's just me. So this is typically how I build houses of this kind of design. I almost have a little blueprint just in my head on how I build these. But yeah, basically this is probably the first well, server of this kind hosted in probably almost 8 years. So it's pretty cool. I think our house is starting to look a little nice. I'm gonna add something to the inside of it next. But yeah, it's starting to look homey. But not really a house. It's meant to be a library, but well, I guess that'll work too. So yeah, pretty much. Looking like a nice little library. Looks pretty good. And yeah, pretty cool. It's got a little bit of a sneak peek on what multiplayer is. Because the multiplayer aspect of PE was very interesting for, well, a while until, you know. Because the thing is that 0.5 is interesting because if you think about it in terms of even older Minecraft Java Edition versions, it's got some features and looks that are reminiscent to late beta, but it's also got so much less features. The feature set is closer to something like early alpha or in-dev. It's kind of like a lower, well, not lower, but it's got less features, but there's also, it's just an interesting version. These are some interesting versions, and also these were some of the first versions I played when I started. So this is pretty cool. One of the things one version I thought that was very interesting was 0.3. That was like one of the ones where I really started to understand what that game was about and what was the best way to start to do that, like where I was discovering features and stuff more. So yeah, this is pretty cool, and I just broke that. Alright, there we go. So, now, the next step is simply sealing off the top. And look at that. I like it. It looks nice. I like it. It looks nice. It's a nice little cozy looking house that, in general, is pretty nice. I like the way it looks. It looks pleasant. Like you could live there, and yeah, I like that way. I like that look for it. Let's throw some things in there that make it like a house, though. Well, not really a house, but a library. So maybe we should put some things like some benches down. Because, or even better, since it's a library, we're going to need bookshelves. Because, well, bookshelves, they're kind of important. Because it's a library and you need books because it's a library. So, add bookshelves to the world. To the world? No. Add bookshelves to the library. You know, in a way it is adding to the world, I guess. It's starting to look nice. It's a very tiny library. It's very similar to a library. In a way, the library that I have around my area. Very similar to that. Just a tiny one. Yeah, maybe I'll take down to make at least one or two of these to make them make the area more roomy. Yeah. Oh yeah, up here. Yeah, maybe I can make something that goes up here since there is literally an attic up here. Oh, someone else joined. Linux script. Cool. Alright, so yeah. Basically. Oh yeah, I want to do one little thing really quick. I want to show you the quit and copy map feature. It's kind of interesting. Yeah, I'll show you really quick. See, really quick, as you can see, you can go there, you can start game, and you saved the world, except really buggy still. And it saved everything that wasn't in the chunks. It's an interesting mechanic there. I find that kind of interesting. So yeah, 1 second. Alright, back. So, yeah, pretty much. Yeah, as you can see, the stuff does spawn here. But then as I walk around, because it's a weird way super flat works, as it disappears, it's kind of strange. The way super flat operates in, say, this scenario. But yeah, as you can see, it's got an interesting thing where you can save the map. Yeah, it's kind of a little library. It's a little library. I like it. It's kind of a cute design. Looks just homey. And but still, looks nice and homey in a way. So I'm going to add some things like I remember that most libraries have, well, most. Well, I don't think there's not a lot of room to make a staircase, so, ladders it is. Or not. Well, I guess I can make it work. I think I can make a staircase work. Just gotta be careful, though. Looks pretty nice. Yeah, and there we go. You got a little attic. Attic / second floor. that you go around behind the bookcase, you climb up the staircase, and yeah, look at that, there's a nice little area here. Maybe I'll put like a little window, I don't know, something like that, a little roundish window up here. Even though it looks something closer to a cross, but it, you know, you can't make good round windows in Minecraft. So, yeah, well, it's not like it's really necessary. Interesting. That's some packets lagging a little bit. Yeah, let's see what else everyone else is building. So, almost a village house. Looks like some blocks and stuff. Grass block. Some sort of, I don't know. Oh yeah, big bed. And another core reactor. And then there's my house. Yeah, that doesn't look good. I'm going to change that really fast because that doesn't look too great. So there's the one bonus, there's the big bonus after this, out of this that everyone else doesn't have, is that there's proper world saving, so your builds will all be safe in the end, and that's important. The way world gen is in this is a little strange, super flat, but it works. And yeah, looks like a nice little, cozy little library house thing. Pretty nice. No, let's do something really quick. Let's see. What else should I build? Well, there's quite a few things I could build, and one of them, things that I really want to test for some reason right now is another core reactor. So I'm actually going to build another core reactor really quick, so we can actually test. Test it and see. But it's like, so really fast, I'm going to look up what another core reactor looks like. Alright, so, basically, got an idea. So, well, not idea, but yeah, we're going to build another core reactor. And we're going to test it because I'm curious what will happen. I'm going to turn myself to survival mode and I'm going to test it because I want to know what happens. So yeah. I'll just say that in the announcements really fast because, well, yeah. Well, whatever, I won't be able to announce that. I'll just do that really fast. So yeah. Another core reactor. One of my favorite items. It's actually one of my favorite blocks because, yes, I do have favorite blocks because, well, who doesn't have a favorite block? It's interesting. It's almost like that didn't want you to build that. Interesting. Well, it's built, so the logical next step is to see what happens when I go into game mode 1. Right, well, actually, no. Alright, so now I'm going to rejoin really fast. So. Alright, I just joined. So now it's to test the nether core, so. Alright. Yeah, I can't spell right now. Yeah. Yeah, I just... Yeah, sorry, I was probably looking like an idiot, but yeah, ready? It's throwing something into the message, but... Alright, so ready? So yeah, pretty much. Let's get back to this nether reactor. Closer. Huh. Oh, there we go. It's working. Okay, now it's working. Whoa. I'm in the dark. This is weird. But yeah. You got another core reactor, which is cool, I guess. So yeah, other than that, I think I'm going to finish off this video here because, well, yeah. I'm going to... Basically gonna have to change this back to a game mode 1, though. Alright, so we have back, and yeah. It's gone. The core reactor is gone, because that's simply what it did. But yeah. Core reactor. Kind of interesting. But yeah, I think I'm gonna end this here. But yeah, I'll pretty much probably have a download for this in the video later. The same map, because that might be kind of cool. But yeah, looks pretty good. I don't know, maybe I'll go a little longer, who knows. But yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, you have to be kind of in survival mode for that to work. But yeah, it's another core reactor, and yes, it does work on multiplayer, which is kind of cool. So yeah, quite awesome, in fact. Pretty sure this is pretty nice. So yeah, I think I'm going to end the video here, so hope you enjoyed this. And yeah, guess I'll go. And, well, hope you enjoyed this, and bye.